Imagine for a second that you are building a house. You wouldn't just start throwing up a roof or picking out paint colors, right? Well, obviously not. You start by pouring a solid, unshakable foundation. Because without it, it doesn't really matter how beautiful that house looks on the outside. It's just not going to stand up to a storm. So, today I want you to ask yourself, what forms the structural foundation of a strong, healthy family? As we're going to see in this explainer, the answer isn't really a what, but a who, and exactly how we protect them.
So welcome. I am super thrilled to have you here as we unpack some absolutely crucial concepts today. We are going to take a deep, step-by-step look at safeguarding maternal and child health. Now, before we jump in, just a quick reminder. While we are diving deep into these foundational health concepts for our lesson today, this is just educational information. It's never a substitute for an actual diagnosis or treatment from a doctor. If there's ever a serious concern regarding a mother or child, consulting a healthcare professional is always for sure the right move.
Okay, let's dive right into this. We've got a really clear roadmap for our time together. We'll cover the basics and definitions, walk through the pregnancy journey, break down the pillars of holistic childcare, look at some real-world barriers, and finally, map out the support ecosystem.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, Maternal and Child Health Basics.
Okay, so you really want to notice how these two concepts are permanently linked. Maternal health refers to the complete physical, emotional, and social well-being of a woman during pregnancy, childbirth, and the postnatal period. On the flip side, child health isn't just about— Actually, let me rephrase that. It's not just the absence of sickness. It means complete physical, mental, and social well-being, which includes nutrition, immunizations, and a safe environment. But the absolutely critical takeaway here is cause and effect. A healthy mother is the prerequisite, the foundational bedrock for a healthy baby. You literally cannot have a healthy child without first prioritizing a healthy mother. Their well-being is biologically and socially intertwined.
Moving right along to Section 2, the mother's pregnancy journey.
Let's walk through this timeline because it's a step-by-step biological journey that takes serious preparation. It actually starts with pre-pregnancy. This is all about family planning and taking a really honest look at physical, emotional, and financial readiness before conception even happens. Then we hit the first trimester. Your body is doing the heavy lifting of literally forming a human being's vital organs. So expect profound tiredness and morning sickness as those hormones completely shift. In the second trimester, the baby grows rapidly and the physical load increases. You start seeing body aches, stretch marks, maybe skin darkening, and mild swelling because, well, the body is physically expanding to accommodate life. By the third trimester, the baby is quite large. That naturally leads to shortness of breath, heartburn, trouble sleeping, and those early contractions. The body is gearing up for the marathon of birth. And remember, it doesn't end at delivery. The postnatal phase requires a tremendous amount of rest, highly nutritious food, and deep emotional support to help the mother fully recover from that marathon.
So, the crucial point to remember is this. While all those changes we just talked about are a completely normal part of the journey, there are absolute warning signs that go way beyond normal discomfort. Sudden extreme swelling, rapid weight gain, or severe itching paired with other symptoms, those are giant red flags. Why? Because rapid weight gain or extreme swelling aren't just annoying. They can be early warnings of super serious conditions, like preeclampsia. The rule here is incredibly simple: do not self-diagnose. Whenever these warning signs pop up, it is absolutely critical to seek immediate professional medical help. No guessing, just go to the doctor.
That brings us perfectly to Section 3, Pillars of Holistic Childcare.
First up, let's look at the immediate clinical steps taken right after birth. This is called essential newborn care, and every single step has a specific physiological purpose. It starts with immediate drying of the baby to prevent heat loss, followed right away by skin-to-skin contact with the mother. And, skin-to-skin isn't just about bonding, though that's great. It actually helps regulate the baby's body temperature and breathing. It's amazing. Then comes proper, timely cord clamping to ensure healthy blood flow, ensuring non-separation from the mother, and initiating breastfeeding to deliver those vital first antibodies. Finally, the clinical care wraps up with eye care, a vitamin K shot to help with blood clotting, and crucial newborn screening. Following these exact steps deliberately protects this highly vulnerable newborn from early risks that are totally preventable.
Once the baby is home and growing, childcare becomes this huge, holistic puzzle resting on 5 distinct pillars. Physical health means balanced food and regular immunizations. Mental and emotional health demands absolute security and care to build coping skills. Intellectual development requires a really stimulating environment and early education.
Social health leans heavily on healthy family bonds and safe friendships. And lastly, environmental health means having clean water, proper sanitation, and a safe living space. You see, these don't exist in a vacuum. If a child has perfect nutrition but lacks a safe, emotionally secure family environment, their overall health is going to suffer. You can't focus on just the physical and ignore the whole shebang. The old saying holds true across the board. Prevention is always better than waiting for illness to strike.
Let's shift gears a bit to Section 4, Real-World Barriers and Solutions.
We've talked a lot about the ideal foundation, but let's be honest, the real world can be incredibly messy. What happens when families face external challenges? Take Jenna, for example. She's dealing with an unplanned pregnancy and intense financial limits. She's struggling to afford checkups or even proper nutritious food. Or consider Sharon. She lives incredibly far from the nearest clinic, making prenatal care a massive, exhausting logistical hurdle. These are very real economic and geographic barriers. But here is the critical part. There are solutions. Jenna doesn't have to navigate this alone. She can tap into public health services that are often free or heavily subsidized. And for Sharon, the local community can bridge that geographic gap with mobile clinics, visiting health workers, or transport assistance programs. The big takeaway here is to not hide from the problem, but to actively reach out for the solutions that are already out there.
Children face heavy barriers too, Consider Maria. Her diet is mostly fast food and she rarely plays outside, which is severely impacting her physical health. Then there's Boyette. He's experiencing high anxiety, appetite loss, and missing school because his parents recently separated. This brilliantly illustrates how emotional stress directly, physically degrades a child's well-being. And finally, look at Kuyai, whose parents are hesitant to vaccinate him due to online rumors. This leaves him completely exposed to preventable diseases. That right there is an informational barrier. The solution to an informational barrier isn't to argue with strangers online. It's to stop relying on rumors and talk directly to qualified healthcare professionals who give factual, evidence-based guidance.
And that brings us to our final part, Section 5, an ecosystem of support. Resolving all those massive barriers we just discussed, that's not something a mother or child can do entirely alone. Safeguarding health requires an entire ecosystem acting together. The family is the first line of defense, providing foundational food, rest, and emotional backing. But it expands outward. Schools don't just teach math, they give accurate health education and are often the very first to notice emotional or behavioral changes in a kid. Healthcare professionals step in with critical checkups, immunizations, and expert advice. And the community at large ensures there is widespread access to sanitation, safe spaces, and transportation. If any one of these pillars crumbles, the burden falls heavily back on the family. It truly takes a village, an entire shared ecosystem.
So how do we put all of this into an actionable game plan? Here are your steps. It starts before birth, by planning pregnancies responsibly and never skipping those regular checkups. When the big day comes, it requires skilled medical care, followed strictly by essential newborn care. And as the child grows, it means always watching for danger signs, while providing daily holistic care, emotionally, physically, and environmentally. This is a great reminder that protection is not a one-and-done event, it's a continuous, daily habit.
We're going to end on this really powerful thought. Safeguarding mothers and children is a shared responsibility. It's not just about treating someone when they get sick, it's about early prevention, good nutrition, emotional support, and the whole community working together to keep that foundation unshakable. So as you process everything we've unpacked in this explainer today, I want to leave you with a question. Looking at the family, the school, and the community around you, what specific role can you play starting today to help safeguard the foundation of your own family's health? Think about it. Thanks so much for learning with me today.